Okay, so standard tuning for this one, E, A, D, G, B, E. And a real interesting progression here. It's basically just kind of like sliding the E and A fretted and just having some opens under it. And the initial intro section here, we're just kind of alternating a couple spots on the A and D string here. So we start here on the 5 of the D, 5 of the A, and we just go back between them a couple times. Alright, and then we move to like this C shape here where we got the 2D, 3A, do that a couple times. Alright, and we just go back between those two spots like that, a handful of times. Okay, pretty basic there. And then we get into the main progression, and here we're going to see like every chord that we use in the song. We start with this just interesting like G voicing, so we just do like a G power chord, so 3 on the E, 5 on the A, and then we could just do a open D, G, B under it. And I think if you happen to hit an open high E, it's no big deal, it's probably just sound fine. But I don't quite get that full into this drum. But basically we just kind of want to hit like the bass notes of it, like the 3, 5, A, and like the open D a couple times, and then we can get like all the way down through like the G and B string. So be like, alright, and then we move to our next spot, which is what would be like an A minor 11, which is basically just invert what we got here and do a 5 E and a 3A. Okay, so this like minor vibe, and then we'll want like the open D, G, B under it, and we strum it kind of the same way where we hit like the bass notes of it, like the E, A, D string a couple times, then like the full chord. And I kind of do it like incidentally, but if you happen to do like a like a real quick kind of shuffle strum in between each chord, like if you do that, that's cool. But if you just want to simplify it, you could just do like the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, But as I kind of get cooking with the progression, I kind of do that like in between shuffle strum, just as like a rhythmic thing that helps me. So you can do that too. Alright, so up to you. It depends on how involved you want it to be. But after that second chord there, the A minor 11 at the 5, 3 with the opens, we zoom up to this C major 9 look, which is just kind of like taking our C shape, but we come up high with it here on the low set, where we'll have the 8 on the E, 7 on the A, and it's the same type of feel. Hit those with the open D, and then hit the full chord with the open G, B, and D. And then we drop down to this F, where basically we do an F power chord, so the 1 E, 3 A, open D, hit that a couple times, then the open G, B, and D under it. Alright, and then basically we just cycle that whole thing a handful of times. Alright, and like I said, you can kind of like keep the strumming going. And eventually, like the final time through, we get to like the first 2 chords. And then you can kind of get up to that 8 and 7 there, hit it once, mute everything, and then just hit some dead strings, 2, 3, 4. Alright, then we get into the verse pattern, which is just using 2 of the chords that were used there. Start with the G at the 3 and 5 here. And then we skip that A and just come up to like the C at the 8 and 7s here. Do that. And then we just go back in between those two for, a handful of times the rest of the verse. Alright, so that's all that's going with the verse is just those 2 chords back and forth. And then we would, go back into like the main progression, maybe up into the verse progression again, but then we get to this outro progression, which is chords we've seen before, but just in a different order now. we're skipping the A minor chord. We're doing our G at the 3 and 5 here. And we drop it down to the F at the 1 and 3 with the opens. Then come on up high to the C at the 8 and 7 here with the opens. And then right back down to the F at the 1 and 3 with the opens. Okay, and that's basically what's just cycling through the outro.